And boys, we're back with such big news for the studio series. We finally got review with some studio series from the Rise of Beasts movie, Dark of the Moon movie, and Extinction movie. The first one in the list of course is the Dark of the Moon Hatchet that was reviewed from 2 years ago. Despite some flaws that we saw in the official review, the figures turned out to be much better than what we expected. Hatchet is definitely just a retool from the existing mode of Berserker from the last night, as well as the studio series crowbar and study series crankcase repaint of crowbar. Despite being just a mere retool, Hatchet stand on own fours, so that already set it apart from the Berserker mode and the crowbar mode. And because of standing on own four, these figures expect to have much better stability in comparison to the crowbar and Berserker counterpart. In this photo, we definitely see that he has a very big mouth, and the mouth was definitely confirmed to be articulated. The jaws could be opened and closed very widely. The hairs that we have in here are probably made of rubbery material, similar to what we have with crowbar and Berserker. Similar to the crowbar and crankcase design, which mimic that kind of Predators and Alien movie. I really like how these figures have kind of almost insectoid eyes. They have 8 eyes on the head. Those details just really set this design, crowbar design and Berserker design apart from the other study series figures. They just make them very aliens-like. And yes, definitely from this image over here, we can see that he actually have the tails that he has in the movie as well, unlike some of the previous promotional image and the display figures. Despite having such an aliens-like robot mode, these figures still have the same exact vehicle mode as the Berserker figures and the crowbar figures. From the front side and the top side of the vehicle, they pretty much the same, but at the back side of the vehicle, we see that there is one additional part in the end of the vehicle mode that was not present in the Berserker and the crowbar vehicle mode. Next up, we have study series Rise of the Beasts Double Punch, which is basically just a repaint from the study series Scorponok from the same movie. Unlike Scorponok, which have the purple colors, which I guess Hasbro tried to mimic the original Beast War figures with purple colors, but in the actual Rise of Beasts movie, Scorponok or all of the Scorponok-like Scorpion did not have purple colors on them. They have one with green colors, they have one with red colors, and one with blue colors. So definitely this double punch will be more accurate to the movie. Next up, we have the review of the studio series Apelinq, which is basically a retool from the studio series Optimus Primal from the Rise of Beasts movie. Studio series 106 Optimus Primal was definitely one of the best recent leader class figures in the studio series line. The figures, at least in Ape mode, look exactly like how he appeared in the movie. All of his details on the face areas and the body's area, the body proportion, look so accurate to the movie model. The weakest portion on these figures is definitely the leg region, but other than that, everything was so perfect. The robot mode for this Optimus Primal was definitely weaker than the Ape mode as well, considering that we don't even get an accurate face sculpt on the figures. We have an open mouth face instead of a massive face sculpt. And that is exactly where this new Apelinq figures will fit in. These figures come with a head that looks identical to the mask head that Optimus Primal has in the movie. So probably Hasbro's intention is to show that if anyone want an accurate face sculpt for their Optimus Primal, they will have to buy these Apelinq figures and use that head to replace the Primal head. The Primal head can be put on this Apelinq head more easily because he never transformed in the movie, so technically it would still be movie accurate. And here's how Optimus Primal look with the new Apelinq head. Because Apelinq color is mainly gray while Optimus Primal was black, the head color actually doesn't match that well with the body of Optimus Primal, so if we want to actually make them look perfectly, more paint would need to be added onto this head to make it blend better with Optimus Primal figure. The Ape mode is definitely where this figure shine. It looks exactly how Apelinq appears in the movie, with that new face sculpt, the new arm guard and the new shoulder region, and of course the new weapons as well. Those arm plates on plate wing arm are definitely the things that we have been wanted for this Apelinq figure for so long. Look at the Apelinq head in person. This looks just so good. It's just like the movie model actually stepped out of the movie and come into our plastic form. The body of Apelinq actually look almost exactly like the body of Optimus Primal, except for the head, the shoulder pad, as well as the weapon. Apelinq will come with a different version of the Tram Swap ski, so instead of the silver version or the Earth mode version that Optimus Prime will come with, this one will come with the orange version that we saw at the beginning of the movie. The The aesthetic of Apelinq matched very well with that of Optimus Primal and the model that we saw in the movie, so that we can easily recreate the scene that Apelinq fought with Skirt. Unfortunately, this also means that Apelinq is exactly 1-to-1 scale with Optimus Primal. They are the same scale, so this doesn't really match well with what we saw in the movie when Apelinq was a little bigger than Optimus Primal. Therefore, Apelinq in his ape mode is really tiny in comparison to a leader class 30 series Skirt. In comparison to the YOLO part Apelinq, definitely this design is a little simple. Next up, we have an incredible figures of Bumblebee from the Bumblebee movie in his Beetle mode design. These figures definitely caught me off guard because Hasbro already tackled these figures before. It was the Studio Series 18, but now they decide to remake one of their own figures and name it as number 117. This new Studio Series 117 Bumblebee looks incredible. The body proportion is way better than the Studio Series 18. The head mode is more accurate to the movie. The body proportion, especially on the legs, was definitely more balanced in comparison to the whole body design. Although the backpack of the figure still look very similar to that of the Studio Series 18, the back wings door are still very big. They're not collapsible or small like what we saw with Bumblebee in most of the Bumblebee movie. But at least this door can be collapsed down and form closer to the back of the figure. Bumblebee will still come with his two signature weapons, the knife on one arm and the arm gun on the other arm. The scale also worked out easily in comparison to the previous Bumblebee movie and Rise of the Beasts Bumblebee, as well as the Rise of the Beasts Optimus. Due to being an officially licensed product from Volkswagen, the vehicle mode looked incredible for Bumblebee. It's pretty much comparable or identical to this one of the Studio Series number 18. I was so excited to see this review of B because this just opened a whole new world for us as Transformer fans. This essentially confirmed that Hasbro and Takara can now start working on older figures which didn't really live up to the name of Studio Series. Some of those were just basically repaint figures from the last night. Those figures can now potentially wait for their new updated version coming into the Studio Series line. Some of the most promising candidate will be Lockdown, Starstream, Raw, and all of the KSI bot. There's so many figures they can start reworking on. And yes, we finally have the first look of the leader class Extinction Knight Prime, the impossible Optimus Prime 9 design from the Extinction and the Last Night movie. Although the figure still doesn't live up to our expectation considering that it still have a lot of keyboard, especially on the back of the figure. I think Hasbro and Takara still did a very good job with these figures considering that they are working with a fixed price point for this leader class figure and considering how small this guy is in comparison to some of the third-party figures that we have seen on the market. These figures definitely share a lot of similarities in comparison to the Voyager, the Last Night Optimus Prime and the leader class Optimus Prime from the same years. At the very least, I hope that this figure's articulation definitely live up to his leader class title. And lastly, we have the Studio Series Dark of the Moon Dealer's Class Q from the Dark of the Moon movie. The figures look incredible that it is exactly how I remember Q from the movie without rewatching the movie again. The head sculpt is way better than the one that we got from Dark of the Moon in comparison to the actual CGI design. Despite being a mere dealer's class figures, I think Hasbro and Takara really aced these figures.